Tim Timmons and
Woo!
special guest.
Special guest, Sarah Taylor.
Nope.
We named my dog Sarah Taylor.
I mean, I knew we were friends, but
Yeah, I thought that was right. And this is Lucy, everybody. So if you guys were thinking about getting a puppy, don't. Could be the dumbest mistake you ever do in your whole life. I mean, she's real cute, huh, Luce? Huh? She will just lick you silly. But like getting a dog, like a puppy, Sarah, have you ever had a puppy?
I have not.
I think this interview is about over. I think we're about done because I'm exhausted just thinking about that time with that puppy. But anyways, it was like 7 months of just lots of newborn things. So you have a newborn, kind of. Now you're 4 years in. You don't have a newborn.
Well, you have had twins. So the fact that you're talking that a puppy has undone you and you've already dealt with twins, this is serious.
Yeah, it is pretty serious. I think I wasn't prepared. People were like, oh my gosh, just get a crate and you put it in the crate every night and it's going to be super great. And you know what they do? They love their crate. And I'm like, okay. So I did all the things and Cujo hates her crate. I mean, she's basically, saying, I will kill you if I was any bigger if you put me in that crate again. So it's just good. Literally, she's in my studio. That's where her crate is. So we can't hear.
Wow.
Okay. Don't
She just
call.
wants to be with you.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on from Cujo
Okay,
because
let's
she's
do it. Let's do it.
my blood pressure is like rising.
One of my favorite times with you is actually when we were at a convention and the room was full of really loud radio people and you were getting ready to go up and play a song on the stage and I was going to introduce you. And it sounds fine, but radio people, when they all get together, why don't you explain what happens?
Yeah, no, radio people, I mean, they're wonderful. And so just mind you, there are like 1,000 people in this ballroom and it's like a hallway ballroom. And there are artists all over. So all these, Switchfoot here, Mercy, I mean, all the guys are just, and girls are all along this place. So radio people are going around saying, oh my gosh, you're so great. I love your new song. And they're talking to them. And so what Sarah's supposed to do is not interview me, just introduce me as this new guy. My record hadn't even come out yet. The single was just going to radio, my first one. And so she's supposed to say, here's Tim Timmons with Starts With Me. And nobody could give a rat's, people. I mean, they were literally just sitting there going like, okay, you're talking, but you're just doing this. So anyways, we had just watched somebody right before me sing and nobody cared. And so I decided I've played every bar in Newport Beach, California. And so I know how to get people excited. So I played Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline, and the place erupted. I mean, they were so excited, right? And then I'm like, well, thank you very much. Here's my song. And they're like, woo! They could care less. It was so great. But yeah, Sarah, that was a good moment we had.
I'm a big fan of Neil Diamond music. So as soon as you did that, I was like, this guy knows what's going on. Anyway.
Good times never. Yeah, it was powerful.
We are actually going to hear from you in just a few minutes with your new single called You Never Let Go. And so just spoiler alert, that's on the way. Might want to get a guitar tuned up and ready to go.
Yep.
But first,
are you talking to the audience or to me?
Both of you.
Okay,
I'm telling the audience and I'm also letting you know kind of like.
That's what we're going to do?
Yeah. But first, I want to talk with you a little bit about, for someone that's not familiar with your journey, couple things. I'm going to give 3 bullet points and then you can probably put them all together. Number 1, if you love the song Even If, you're looking at one of the guys that made that song happen. You co-wrote it with Mercy Me.
Yeah.
And I always just love the story of how that song originated. Other bullet point is that you did some math on the amount of time we spend in church each week and the amount of time outside of church. And you thought, wow, that's a whole lot of minutes that we could use for good. And you've created an excellent video blog called 10,000 Minutes, or is it 100? Is it 10,000?
No, you're right. You're killing it. You're shredding it. 10,000 minutes. There are 10,080 minutes in a week.
That's what you've created. And so I want to talk a little bit about both those things. You pick which one you want to go with first.
I'll just go in your order.
Okay.
So I had written a song called Even If years ago with a girl named Crystal Lewis, who is just a singer. I mean, that girl, she doesn't sing, she sings.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, as we're writing this song and this chorus starts coming out, and I'm like, uh-oh. I'm just singing this chorus going, this is like my life's prayer right here. And I knew it was powerful. So anyways, she didn't use it on her record, which I was so thankful for. So I went to my label and I'm like, you guys, this song is so good. And they're like, yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I'm like, you guys. So then we didn't do that song. And then I was just one of those things where I said, Jesus, if you want to do something with a song, great. If not, great. But because, well, a little more about my journey is that 12 years ago, I quit working for Jesus. I literally quit it. I don't work for him anymore. My aim is just to walk with him. So I stopped opening doors. 12 years ago, I made it like an oath that I will never open another door to try to get my way. And I actually started writing this X on my wrist at that point as my reminder. You know, as I'm meeting with Sony or meeting these people, I'm like, I'm not opening these doors. Jesus, if you want to do that, you can. So that was one of the deals with the song was like, okay, if you want this to go out there, great. If not, great. It can just be my prayer to you. So I had this thing in my heart a few years ago that it was for one of my best friends, who's Bart from Mercy Me. There's a dumb movie made after him, whatever. And but I wouldn't go to my friend and go, hey man, I got a song I think you should do. It just feels so gross. And that's like me pushing my agenda, my kingdom. And that's what I promised I would not do. So anyways, he was in this studio, actually right here. And we were about to do a podcast. And he broke down crying about his son with diabetes and basically said the chorus of the song verbatim. I mean, it was so dumb. I was like, okay, well, and at the very end, I was just playing piano and I just said, man, can I just play you this song that, I don't know, it's just been so good. It might just be good for us in this moment, if nothing else. So I played it for him and then he's like, is that song done? I'm like, nope. So then we rewrote it but it's so cool that, I mean, the beautiful part, and then all of a sudden we're at the Grammys. It was just like the fact that I didn't do a dang thing, but I just showed up and I didn't open doors, but Jesus opened the doors. And I think he honored that. So that's actually the coolest story of it all. And the song has helped so many people and helps me. And so anyways, that's my end of the story.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. And let's talk about 10,000 minutes.
Yeah. So I was a pastor in Orange County, California for 15 years, worship leader down there at a church called Mariners Church, and did some stuff at Saddleback down there. So I was doing a bunch of stuff, really great. I was an awesome Christian, like awesome varsity. But at some point, at the end of my 15 years, I was like, I'm exhausted. My soul is tired. I'm supposed to be pushing this thing about Jesus that he's going to give me all the fruit of the Spirit, but I don't have any of it. I'm making it all up. Like I'm addicted to worry. I'm all these things, and I'm trying to get my way. And he's like, man, there's so much more for you. So that's when I quit working for Jesus, and I just started walking with him, saying that there are 10,080 minutes in a week. People, if you want to Google it, go right ahead, but I'm right. In 80 of those minutes, I found that I was just always pointing everybody to the 80 minutes. Like, here, gather here, and we'll tell you about Jesus in this spot. Versus saying there are 10,000 other minutes. How do I join Jesus in those 10,000 minutes? So I just started putting things into practice in my own family, and then all of a sudden I started inviting other people into it, and it's become this really amazing community of people that I get to walk with and encourage every week. So,
and we'll put the YouTube link like in the show notes of this. Our social team is all over it. I gotta say, your video editing skills are they're strong.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a video editor, and I need to get somebody else to do it. But
oh man, here I thought
it takes me so much time. No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it all. Yes. I'm so proud right now.
You should be.
Thank you.
You're very quick with it to keep everybody's attention.
That's my hope.
Yeah.
And I will say this, just a little shout out to you and all that you do, and that you guys, your whole crew does, is that in the 10,080 minutes, your people generally are gathered for 80, but you are actually serving them so well in the 10,000 minutes. And it's really why I love partnering with radio, is that you guys are in the 10,000 minutes when the stuff is hitting the fan. That's where you are. You're inviting them into a bigger story in the 10,000 minutes. So number one, well done. And I love partnering with you guys. It's very awesome.
Thank you so much. Let's talk about, speaking of radio, you have a new song that's going out to radio. It's called You Never Let Go. And I love that it was at a Maverick City writing event.
Mm-hmm.
And a gal named Tammy Haddon. She's a gospel artist.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tammy.
No, you can call her Tiffany. She won't answer, but you can call her Tiffany. Yeah, Tammy Haddon and Stephen Cashwell. Stephen's actually part of Mav City as well, Maverick City. It was the last rite in our whole retreat, and we're all exhausted. But we all walked into this this co-write just, I don't know, with just deep anxiety. I had just found out that my tumors that I thought had shrunk, the doctor came back the next week, or actually it was a few months later, and said, "Oh, just kidding. They didn't shrink. They're all still there on your tumor, on your liver." And I was like, okay, well, here we go again. Tammy had just had a really rough time with one of her kids, and Stefan has some crazy stuff going on in his life. So it's just one more thing that we just decided we just need to pray this, whether anybody ever hears it or not. This is our prayer that we're going to pray no matter what. So it's just another cool story for us.
And you mentioned earlier about how you were addicted to worry, and really the prayer ended up being, coming out of the songwriting session, what do we do with all of that worry? And so I'd love it if you'd play the song and just share a little bit more about maybe even just a lyric that we can hold on to from the song that really, once you guys wrote it, you're like, well, that's staying in.
Yeah. Yeah, we used a bunch of hymn titles in it too, but well, yeah, so I would just say for you, whoever's listening or watching this, what are you worrying about today? Just think about what you're entering this day, things you're holding on to. And Jesus is always saying, you guys, you can worry if you want, but my invitation is you don't have to anymore, because I'm at work in all things. You are with me, right beside me, always present, always close. Blessed assurance, oh, be my vision, my firm foundation. Oh, remind my soul. That's like the need that I have today, right? Because if the flower knows your love and the sparrow has enough, then I know that I still have a song to sing. The same God that parts the sea is the God who's here with me. I know you won't let go. You never let go. I know you won't let go. You never let me go. So why should I worry today if you are for me? You hold my world inside your hand. My joy and sorrow, peace in the breakdown. God of redemption, you turn it all around. You turn it all around. Yeah, if the flower knows your love and the sparrow has enough, then I know that I still have a song to sing. Ooh, the same God that parts the sea is the God who's here with me. I know you won't let go. You never let go. I know you won't let go. No, you won't let me go. You are holding me close. You never let go. You are still in control. You never let go. Even in Matthew 6 and the Message version, it says we can walk careless in the care of God. What would that look like today if you actually walked careless in the care of God. All the things we're holding today, right? You are holding me close. You never let go. You are still in control. You never let go. If the flower knows your love and the sparrow has enough, then I know that I still have a song to sing. Oh, the same God that parts the sea is the God who's here with me. I know you won't let go. You never let go. I know you won't let go. You never let me go. I know you won't let me go. You never let. You never let go. You never let me go.
So good, my friend. Thank you.
Of course.
Always a pleasure. Let's do it again soon.
Thank you. Bye to everybody.
Thank
Let's
you.
be friends.
Bye.